My name is Matthew.
Yeah. How long have you been teaching in Vietnam?
About 11 years.
11 years. Yeah. So you know Vietnamese economy is growing in a fast and steady speed, but the education system is old and backward. So what do you think about Vietnamese education?
That's a big question,
Yes.
and it can be hard to answer. It depends if you're looking at high school or university. Which area do you mean? High school or university?
I think the primary education.
Or primary?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not really familiar with primary school education. Don't know any teachers from that system, but I think I can give some comments anyway.
Yes.
I think the education systems, it's changed a lot over the last 10 or 15 years, and there's people in the Ministry of Education. They're trying to make some changes, but I find it's very hard for some people to make the changes because the system's kind of stuck in its way, and people are trying to make changes, but the system, it's very hard to change the system.
Yes, of course.
So there might be some younger teachers that come in that have different teaching methods, but there might be the older generation that say you can't teach in that way. And very hard for some teachers to be more independent or creative because they're stuck in the system.
Yes. So, as you know, education reform is not now changed in Vietnam. Every year, the contents of the textbook are changed or add new details. But do you think it is necessary for us to do it again and again?
I think it happens in many countries. For example, in Australia, I think textbooks are updated every year, and some people say the changes aren't necessary, just keep the same books. But I think because information's being updated all the time, you have to keep books updated, and I think it's very hard to keep a textbook the same for 3 or 4 years. There always has to be updates. It might be costly, or some people think unnecessary, but if the changes are good, then I think why not?
You know, in Vietnam, teachers are called the engineers of the soul. The position of teachers in society is very high, but the working conditions and also the salary is don't deserve their efforts. So, what do you think?
There's some teachers that are very good at their job and they're very popular, and some of them get paid more than other teachers, that they deserve that. And I think the majority of teachers don't get enough. It's the same in Australia as well. Teachers are always complaining about the salaries. I think that's just the way the modern world works. Some people are rewarded like doctors and lawyers for their job, but I think teachers contribute just as much, maybe more, because they're teaching young children, and they should be paid more, but they're not. But in Vietnam, there's ways around that. A lot of teachers do private classes, so they can earn a lot if they teach children at the house. So that's one way to make more money.
Yes, and the last question, can you tell me, in your opinion, the biggest difference between Vietnamese education and the education of your country? Yes, your opinion.
A lot of people say there's more practice in Western education for students, but I was in that system. Sometimes we didn't get much practice. I think it's more of a myth sometimes. We still had to copy from the teacher everything they wrote on the board and listen to them. But definitely when we got to high school there was more practice, but at primary school we just had to follow the same system. But I think that works at a primary school level. And when students get older, they need more practice and need to relate it to real life. So in high school, they definitely need more practice in Vietnam. And I think students don't get enough.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
See you.
Okay, thank you.